GTA 5 has been out for almost 11 years, but that didn't stop me from finding 25 of the craziest facts you've never heard of. Starting with number 1, which takes place near Mount Gordo and revolves around this tree, because while it may look normal, as it becomes night, this tree will slowly turn golden, and the only theory as to why is it may be linked to the Mount Chiliad mystery. But at number 2, we got something that will completely change your view on Los Santos. Like, no, actually. Because we've all seen the beautiful Los Santos skyline, but when you come to this door located here on the map and look through it, you get a glitched view of the city with no sky, which is definitely weird. But now we have what I'm pretty sure is the glitchiest ladder in GTA. I've seen other ladders you literally can't climb, or some you can only climb like halfway, but down by the docks there's this ladder that does work, but once you get towards the bottom you just start glitching out and floating next to the ladder. If you come to this location, there's a garage door that's slightly open, which doesn't seem like a huge deal, but this actually works as a launch glitch. All you got to do is get yourself a sand chest and just go full speed into the garage door and you go flying. Now we got Michael's house, which is definitely one of the weirder houses in GTA. I could probably make a whole video about some of the stuff in this house, like pictures of random dogs, yoga balls you can mess around with, but for now I just want to focus on 2 things. First one being, if you throw grenades, C4s, RPGs, really any explosive in Michael's house, it will leave these random holes in the wall that you can actually see the drywall, which I've never seen in any other house in GTA. And another weird thing about this house is the skylight, because Michael's roof is actually completely solid, and the skylight shows real-time things. Like when I landed my helicopter on the roof, you could see it from inside. So I don't know why they didn't just add the glass on the outside, but whatever. This next one I somehow didn't know till recently, but your cars can actually get super dirty. Like this is my Supra, and right now it is perfectly clean. Then I drove it off-roading for like 15 minutes, and yeah, this thing is actually filthy now, bro. That's crazy. And literally any car can get dirty even if you don't go off-roading. Yeah, I stayed on the road that whole entire drive, and my car is absolutely disgusting now, bro. But I'm sure most of your garages are clean, and actually if you make one of your cars look good enough, when you take them out in public, you can see NPCs just taking pictures of your cars. I'm sure all of you are familiar with driving on this highway, but more specifically I want to focus on this tunnel, because one thing you may not have noticed is that there's these vents on the top of the tunnel that don't really do much unless you shoot at them with a minigun, in which case they blow up. Taxi drivers are also interesting because every taxi has this message on the car that says the driver is armed and will use it, but after ripping the driver out of his car and shooting him as he ran away, I would say this message is not true and Rockstar is lying to us. It's a pretty well-known fact you can't stop the train in GTA 5, but not as many people know it's actually the exact same thing with the roller coaster. I mean, in most cases it's hard to even test this, but with mods I covered the track in cars and the roller coaster went straight through it. I also filled the track with explosives, containers, even planes, and yeah, pretty much nothing worked. But going back to the train, I mean, yeah, it can't be stopped, but there is actually a way to get the train operator out of the train, and it's pretty easy. All you got to do is get on the train and then just throw a Molotov near the front where you can actually see bro jump out, but the train keeps on going. Another fun way to mess with NPCs is to come to this roundabout and just wait for an NPC to enter. Once they do, just stand in the middle of the entrance. The NPC will then try to escape, but realize you're standing there, so they circle around again and again and again, and basically you can make them go in an infinite amount of circles. Now this next one takes place in the Yellow Jack Inn, which if you don't know is tied to some of the creepiest Easter eggs and craziest lores in GTA, so drop a like and I'll make a whole video explaining everything. But for now I want to focus on one weird but harmless Easter egg, which takes place on these $69 bills, because if the face looks familiar, it's because it's actually the GTA cover girl. And it's not just one bill, it's on every bill in here, so it seems like maybe this is the only currency they accept. I don't know. Like I said, drop a like and I'll expose this place. But I do have another unrelated, slightly creepy fact, because in the middle of the ocean there's a statue, which is kind of normal, I guess. But if you use mods to bring it on land and run into the statue, you'll find it's actually an NPC that starts to walk back into the ocean, which I have no explanation for. Overall though, most NPCs are pretty boring, but if you come to a tennis court, you can actually find NPCs that will flip their rackets, which I know isn't the coolest thing ever, but it's still one of the most impressive things I've seen an NPC do. Also, while we're talking about NPCs, we all know for a fact they cannot drive, but it's not 100% their fault, because at this location there's a stop sign that faces the complete wrong way. Like, come on, Rockstar, you gotta do better. And this parking lot also has messed up signs, because at first it looks normal, but if you're an NPC trying to park here, you'd be confused because there's 2 enter signs that point two different ways. You probably don't pay that much attention to the time in GTA besides maybe if it's day or nighttime. But if you happen to be outside at 7 p.m. exactly, you may notice all the lights around the map flicker on, which is pretty cool. Also around the map, you can find a bunch of trash, but if you find a spray paint can, it's actually pretty cool because if you shoot at it, some random color can come out, which is kind of cool. The next one is kind of random, but we all know if you jump off the pier, you can dive into the water. But for some reason, if you run down these stairs and jump towards the bottom, you dive, but straight into a wall. So Rockstar, maybe don't add that mechanic in GTA 6. Another weird glitch is at the airport because you've probably seen these luggage things, but you didn't know they're super glitchy. Like if you run into them or explode them, they kind of just levitate, and I don't know, their whole gravity thing is just odd. In story mode, if you get two of the characters next to each other and pull out your phone, anything you do on one character, the other will do the exact same, other than rotating the phone for some reason, but still, this is kind of interesting. In the very first mission of GTA, there's actually a glitch to get under the map. When you run in the vault, just go over to the back left corner, jump on the locker, and you can literally just walk under the map and go into the ocean. Pretty useless, but pretty interesting. And we all know GTA 6 is coming in 2025, but I wonder if there will be hints towards GTA 5 in it. Like in GTA 5, we have this flag with the GTA 4 map on it, so I wonder if they'll do something like that again and tease GTA 5 in GTA 6, but I've said too many numbers in the past 10 seconds. Subscribe.